Brenda Bingham with the Blue Star Mothers, and I have with me today Karen Ballman. She's our secretary, and we're glad that she's back. She's been gone for a little while, and we're glad that you're here.
Thank you, Brenda. We got a lot of things going on now with the Blue Star Mothers.
That's right. We got to raise a lot of money and a lot of items for our troops as it's getting pretty busy. But we'll start off with our meetings and the times.
Yeah, we have 2 meetings a month. Our first meeting is the second Thursday of the month at the Oakwood Mall at 6:30 is our business meeting. And then the fourth Thursday of the month, of course, unless it's holidays or something, is our packing meeting at 6:30 at the Oakwood Mall. And our room is around there between the Cookie Company and Dillard's. And so we'd be glad for all of you to come visit us.
Right. Now, coming up, because of the holidays, we just shipped out the Thanksgiving packages. So the next packages to go out will be Christmas. So we will do those on December the 5th.
And that'll be at what, 1:30?
About 1 o'clock in the afternoon. And that way anybody can come, and we'll be packing them right there in the hallway in front of our store.
Yeah,
So,
we always do a lot of Christmas items, homemade goods, stockings, candy canes.
right, anything Christmassy for our troops.
And if you would like to help out and help pack, you know, we'd be glad to take any donations for our Christmas boxes that
Right.
anybody could do.
Right, and we will take CDs, DVDs, cards, letters, any type of small item, package of Christmas candies or something that makes it more personal for them to have a taste of home.
Of course, we do our home-baked Christmas cookies and candy and stuff like that. And if you would like to make some of that and donate it, we'd be glad to have that to put in their boxes too.
Exactly.
Because they're spending their Christmas overseas protecting us, so we like to do a little bit for them
That's
in
right.
return.
We would like to put a smile on all their faces. You know, they give so much. They sacrifice so much time for us, and we need to give back. So just keep in mind that the holidays is really difficult for them as well as their families.
Yes, yes.
And
I know we've been through that. All of our Blue Star mothers have been through that.
Yes. And when that seat's empty on Thanksgiving and the Christmas, you know, it's just really difficult. So let's just keep them in our thoughts and prayers, and just, they need us. They need us as much as we need them.
Right. I
So.
think we're going to send out some little beanie hats to wear under their helmets too, because it'll be getting
Yes.
colder over there.
Yes.
And I had a lady call me the other day, and she's got some more of those to donate. And she said she'd let me know whenever it was time to pick them up and stuff. And I
Right.
think her church does them, and she does them.
And I think the XL Club just gave us some.
Right.
And so, you know, we'll send them. As long as they keep bringing them, we send them. And sometimes that's the troops' favorite thing because it keeps their head warm.
Yeah, we even
under
got
those
pictures of
hard
some
helmets.
of them.
Yeah. And those helmets are heavy and hard, and so I'm sure it helps take the cold
Well, they always
away.
say the heat goes out the top of your head. I don't know, I guess. So if you put a beanie hat on it, maybe it'll keep the heat in.
Yes, that might be true, though.
Right.
Seems like when I sweat the most is in
Yeah.
my head. So, but anyway, we also have some fundraisers going on. Karen, would you like to talk about the fundraiser?
Well, we've got them going on at the, they're having the Halloween at the mall Saturday. And our fundraiser is our spaghetti dinner.
Right.
And we'll have the spaghetti and meatballs, and we'll have the meatball subs, and then we'll have breakfast sandwiches. And on Saturday, it's 10 to 8.
10 to 8.
And then on Sunday, the 1st, it is 12 to
6.
5. Yeah, 12 to 5, because the mall closes at 6.
Right, so that gives us time to get cleaned up before we have to get out of the mall.
And we'll be there where Kitty's Pantry used to be.
Right, right. And, you know, come see us. And the moms are making homemade pies, cakes, items like that. And this is one of our big fundraisers. We missed out getting to go to Walmart And but that's okay because we'll make up for it, through this fundraiser and other fundraisers. So, but if you're a church group, a Sunday school class, a school class, feel free to adopt Blue Star Mothers, because you can have a class bring in items. One item per child would help us a lot.
Yeah, because, all around the year, I know a lot of times when they're deployed, they get there before their stuff from their unit gets there.
Right.
I mean, and I know one year we had to send this one soldier a bunch for his whole company because
Exactly.
their items from the USA hadn't got there yet.
Exactly, and they need items like toilet paper, mouthwash, eye drops.
Moisture wipes are really
Moisture
important. I
wipes.
know when Doug was over there, that was very important. I sent him a whole case of them.
And Q-tips. Q-tips. They use the Q-tips not only for their personal needs, but to clean their weapons, which get lots of sand and stuff in them. So,
Right.
so that kind of stuff. Q-tips, Band-Aids, and especially important is the little snacks, whether it be fruit cups,
Peanut butter crackers,
those little single peanut
the
butter.
beef jerky. And we say beef jerky because of the culture. Pork is not to
Right,
be sent. Is
right.
the only reason we always say beef jerky.
Yes, yes. And it's just something that they can put in their pockets. They go out early in the morning on all these convoys and missions, and they may not get in time to get supper. They go out before breakfast. So a lot of times they're going to eat what they can get in their pockets. Plus their MREs, or I think it's MREs now. But, and those are good, but, they need other things because, some
Well,
of
I know
the
at
stuff.
Thanksgiving we sent the little Hormel dinners that
Exactly.
and they may not have a microwave, but they have a motor that they can set that microwave stuff
Exactly.
on to heat it up.
Yes.
And
that
sometimes they
works.
eat it cold, if nothing else, and it tastes better than not having anything.
That's right. And we sent little pecan pies and that's all good. We will send that, but we really want to send them homemade candies and stuff that makes them feel like home,
Right. And
So-
I think it's a time of year now that chocolate will get there, okay?
Yes, we can
And they
send
don't care if
chocolate.
it don't. If it's melted, they'll just eat it out of the wrapper.
Exactly. They don't care. And this last time we got some popcorn from the movie theater. They're always real nice to help us out. And so we filled the boxes with all the goodies. And then we finished packing the boxes with nothing but popcorn. So I'm sure when they opened these boxes, it was nothing but goodies. So I
Right.
hope they enjoyed them. So, and then I don't think we have any more fundraisers scheduled, do we?
Probably not till after the first of the year.
Yeah, but after Thanksgiving, Friday after Thanksgiving, our store will start being open all day, every day. We will be there and we will have a table set up, wrapping gift packages for whoever, and that's by donation also. And again, that helps us with the postage and items that we need in the store. Like
yeah, our
if-
medium-sized boxes just went up here a while back, too.
Yeah,
30 cents a box, I think.
Yeah, $12.65. Yeah, and I also we need to get some, stuff that maybe we run out of, so we have to use some of our money to go get items like
Yeah.
the razors. We always leave out the razors, and that's very important.
And the
disposables.
socks.
Socks,
The
black
socks and toilet paper. I always mention that our colonel that was over there, he said he'd give up anything in his box but his socks and toilet paper.
That's
They could not
true.
have that
That's true. That's very true.
because they all share.
Yes. And we've got Veterans Day is coming up, November the 11th. And we will be, I think there's going to be a little I shouldn't say little, it's going to be a nice deal going on out to the airport for
The
with
Veterans Park, out there where the
right,
Vietnam Wall and everything's
right.
at, yeah. Veterans Park.
And I know that I got an email that Mike McCulley has been chosen for the, what is it? What Elaine does, where they have the dinner every year. And now I hate that I brought it up because I forget the word. But anyway, he's going to be recognized.
The Legacy dinner?
Legacy. I
Yeah.
could not come up with that word. I'm sorry.
They always have veterans that are nominated, and I know through the years there's been World War II veterans and different ones, and
Exactly.
Mike has been through a lot. You know, he's
He
a
has.
Marine, and him and his wife are so sweet.
They are, and he does Toys for Tots. He does the VVA.
The DAV.
DAV.
Yeah, and he's also a service officer, and he helps a lot of people.
Exactly.
So,
So he's-
congratulations to him.
Yes,
He deserves it.
he's very deserving. So we're really proud of that. So, but again, we will be having cards for the veterans in the nursing homes and veterans, whether they're serving past or present. We want to recognize
Yeah,
them
and
all.
if you come by our store, we'll have cards if you want to sign cards to send in our Christmas boxes. Come by and write a note in there, and we'll put them in the top of the box, and that'll be a great thing for our men and women overseas too.
Right, right. So, and we would like to thank all of Northwest Oklahoma for all that they do for us. We thank Enid Television for letting us come in and talk, and they just let us talk about anything. So.
Right, whether we're silly or not.
I
huh?
know, and we can be both. We can be silly and we can forget things and say the wrong thing. But we appreciate all that they do for us, and we appreciate all of the people in Enid and the area who help us. So,
We have a lot of people to thank, so it's just, we don't want to leave anybody out. So
no.
it goes out to everybody. And like I said, the Christmas boxes are going to be our next important thing to get things to fill those up, and any help that anybody can do
That's
will
right.
be a great thing. And we try to help outside our area too.
exactly.
Like the Toys for Tots is very important, the Marine Toys for Tots for children that don't get anything at
Right.
Christmas time.
Right.
And
We'll have a box in front of our store for that
right,
too.
just bring a new toy or something and put in that box, and it will get to a family that really needs it.
Right. And there's people out there that don't have anything, so we want to touch their lives too.
Right.
But most of all, our wish and our prayers to the families who have lost loved ones, especially recently. And we've lost an Oklahoma soldier, and he should be laid to rest sometime this week or next week. But, that family is going through a hard time. So please keep them in your prayers. Keep all of our troops in your prayers. And pray for the United States. Gosh, we need so many prayers. So, and keep...
We go through a lot, but we always make it through.
That's right. And we'll be strong through it all, as will our soldiers and our troops and our airmen and everyone. So just know that they're in our thoughts and prayers. And thank you, Enid, and thank you, everyone, for all that you do for us. Anything you have to say?
God bless America.
Thank you.
Hi, and welcome to Community Talk. I'm Matt Lohman. I'm the Executive Director at Hope Outreach Ministries. With me today, I have Doug Bushman, our Director of Retail Ministries. Welcome, Doug.
Thanks for having me.
Oh, glad to have you here. Wanted to talk about the thrift store and appreciate you being with us at Hope Outreach. You're working on your second year now at Hope. You have an extensive work history, a varied background of different things that you've done, and we don't have time to get into all of those. But interestingly, what have you found to be a challenge working at a nonprofit thrift store?
Well, the nonprofit end of it is that there's responsibilities for revenue still. The thing that I find a little bit challenging is the ministry part of things, and that is that sometimes we're a little bit more lenient with employees and that type of thing as they begin steps in their growth. They may have a work history where they haven't really learned work ethic. Some are in some substance recovery. Some are right out of the Department of Corrections. And there's a core of employees there who are there for the ministry, and that gets quite challenging at times with the mixture.
Well, that brings up another question. And what, for the folks listening and out there in TV land right now, what is the main function or are the main functions of the retail ministry?
Well, the retail ministry provides the revenue that's needed for the other branches of Hope Outreach Ministries, including the parenting ministry, the homeless shelter, the day shelter, transitional housing, which has just been started. And also at the thrift store, there's community care where individuals can come in and get vouchers for gas, for groceries, for clothing, or to pay a utility bill, that type of thing.
And then along with that, the employees themselves.
The employees themselves, again, there's a mixture there, and there is some basic counseling goes on with those employees, and we don't try to be counselors that we're not, but we do try to point them in a biblical direction in work ethic and in how they should interact with each other and with customers. And
how many employees does Hope Outreach Thrift Store Processing Warehouse employ?
Usually around 26 to 30 at tops usually.
Okay, and you touched on it a little bit earlier, but the varied backgrounds of many of our employees at the thrift store.
The backgrounds are extremely varied. Again, there's those folks who are in different stages of recovery from substance abuse, different terms out of Department of Corrections. We have others who may be emotionally disturbed somewhat. Other disabilities are hired into the store also.
Well, and I appreciate the work that you do for them and with them. It's very honorable, and I appreciate it very much.
It's a big privilege.
Just with that, I'd love to say over my almost 6 years now that everyone's a success story, but unfortunately not, because just like Christ gave us, we got choice. But can you share a couple of success stories, possibly past or present employees that we have, changing the names to save the identity of the guilty? But
well, without naming names. One recent graduation, if you will, from our thrift store. It's been a person who came out of Department of Corrections. This young lady made a plan, and she attended work regularly. She worked hard. Her smile was always a smile that we loved to see every day. And with that plan, she executed it and was able to get a great reference letter from us and saved up for a vehicle, got a vehicle, transportation necessary for the next job. And she moved on to a lot higher paying job. And we still pray for her. But that's a great success story. We're just moving another person into supervision now who went through a recovery program, not of our own, but came to us about a year ago. And she's earned our trust, and she's earned our respect in her work ethic, and she's moving up right now too. So.
yeah, that's awesome. And came out of a really tough situation, but is also working the plan.
Very tough is a good description, the details of which we probably don't need to go into.
Yes,
so.
exactly. Well, with that being said, the thrift store operates off of donations. And these employees process those donations and sell them. What kind of donations do we accept at our thrift store and our warehouse?
Well, the short answer for that is saleable items. Okay. Although the interpretation of saleable could really vary quite a bit.
Right.
In the clothing end of things, we want all the clothing. The exception is anything that's damp or possibly insect infested.
Right.
We just can't process that, and it's actually a danger to our whole operation. We sort through many of the clothes, many of them get resold, and those are resold in third world countries. We try to keep the best of the clothing for the thrift store. The other donations, again, it's something just broken to pieces, not working, then we get charged to haul it off to the dump. So that's not something that we'd really want. I suppose I'm hitting on exceptions rather than the positives here, but used bedding we can no longer sell. And so we end up, again, having expense in hauling that off.
The old mattresses
Right,
and old
right.
box springs, yes.
That's correct.
Yeah.
So,
What if, I mean, I know when I donate or when I bring my stuff in that I want to give to the store, I want to give the best that I can. But so, you know, if I got some jeans or something that have holes in them or rips or stains, or maybe it was 20 years ago, those looked really good. I don't want to bring those in. I may throw those away. What would you say to somebody who has that same concept?
to be blunt about it, a misconception, because we need that. We sell the older clothing by the pound, and after it's sorted through a couple of times in usually other countries, then it's recycled into rags, and so it doesn't go to waste. Mm-hmm. And so don't ever be afraid to bring in something that you would consider subpar that you wouldn't wear yourself.
Mm-hmm. So it's something that is still of value to us, and in the same time, we're saving the dump a lot of unnecessary dumping.
Exactly, a huge amount of landfill gets saved.
So we're recyclers as well. Is there anything in our store right now or in the ministry that we could really use?
This year, furniture donations of nice high quality pieces of furniture, mm-hmm. electronics, that's been down a little bit this year. It's certainly something we can use at this point. Going into the holiday season, the larger toys for kids that are in good shape, obviously that's a need probably everywhere around the community, but we can certainly use it too.
Okay. All right, so furniture and electronics and larger toys would be, not that we don't still need all the other things, but those are some main areas of need right now.
That's right.
That would help out with the ministries. Awesome. For those who would like to bring their things to support the ministry, where should they drop them? Where's the best place to drop those things off?
Well, the larger items like furniture or bicycles, that type of thing, 215 South Van Buren is where to bring them. That's the thrift store itself on the north side of the thrift store. A block and a half east in the alley, you'll see a donation box for the other smaller items, and that's where we sort most of the goods out to different categories, and that's where we'd ask you to bring them. And the hours there are 9 in the morning till 5 at night at the warehouse down the block. And the store stays open till 7 o'clock each evening until 9 o'clock on Friday and Saturday nights.
Okay, very good. So we have, basically we're open 9 o'clock to 7 o'clock. They could drop donations either at the store or the warehouse.
Correct.
If the warehouse closed, they can come to the store. Can you tell us what happens to those donations if somebody says, I really want to give these to Hope Outreach, but it's after 7, I'll just set them here and they'll get them tomorrow morning? What happens to those donations when we're closed on after 7 or after the store closes at 9 on Friday and Saturday, and then on Sunday we're not open? So what happens to those donations?
In a word, they're decimated.
Decimated.
They are, thieves get in them, they're stolen, they're broken, they're vandalized, and it's actually quite the shame that happens. But it also creates a mess that we actually spend probably an hour, maybe sometimes 2 hours a day labor in just cleaning up the mess that occurs when a large amount of donations get left out.
Wow. And for those who say, well, why don't you put a video camera down there?
The video camera will get stolen and knocked off too.
That's happened.
I know it's sad, but it's also the truth. So There is a donation box for clothing. Again, down a block and a half east in the alley, north of the thrift store. It often does get full, and we appreciate that. But once it's full, anything that's overflow, the same thing's going to happen.
Okay, yeah. I know that we do have a video camera out there to where we can see, but it's, I have seen people drop something off, and within a minute later, somebody else backs up and puts it in the back of their truck and then drives off with it. And I don't think that was the initial intent of the person dropping off those items to us, so.
And that hurts, and then when you see it on the video and it gets vandalized, it seems to hurt even more.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. So what if somebody has a lot of stuff from their garage sale? They have furniture, appliances, quite a bit of stuff. What about that? If they can't fit it all in their car, or it's going to take 3 trips, what can they do?
Well, first of all, please call us, okay? We have a truck that runs every day except for Wednesday. Wednesdays we use for our own purposes to move product around the ministries. But after you call us, we're going to request that clothing be taken off the hangers and put in bags, and dishes and the type of small items put in boxes. The one thing that we find that we cannot do is be a clean out service and come in and pack things up and sort out the trash and garbage. So it needs to be in a donation form for us to pick it up. But we're absolutely happy to schedule a trip for the truck to come out and do a pickup.
Okay, and that's for a lot of stuff, because we have 2 people on the truck, paid per hour. The truck itself costs money, gasoline, and everything else. So if it's just one bag of clothes, then it's really not worth our time. It costs us money to go pick the things up.
And certain items such as pianos. That's a little joke between us. We have to make decisions on that. If that type of effort of getting that delivered to the store and maybe sold and delivered back out is worth it with an instrument that's in great shape, then obviously we want it. But we need to ask people's favor and permission, say, hey, that's not quite for us.
Okay, that's great. Tell me about, we're starting a new voucher system to help with employers and with churches who want to help other people. Tell me about the vouchers that we're going to be selling.
Well, I'm really excited to make that available. We've created a voucher system where if a church would like to give away $100 to various people or to one group of people, it's going to cost them $80. So there's 20% discount built in right to the voucher system. They're printed on nice cardstock, so businesses, churches who would like to be benevolent and use our facility for clothing, those other items that can be purchased at the store. I think it's just a great program, and the 20%, when we calculate in our labor and that type of thing, it's just about as much as we can afford to give off and still come out even on giving that type of service. And we do realize that we're a service to the community, moving these goods on to other people. And that's why we want to really emphasize this new voucher system.
That's awesome. So when churches want to help somebody, and I've talked to a lot of different ministers before, and in my church, we've had this happen where somebody comes and they need help, and we want to help them. You give out that cash, you're hoping that it goes where it's supposed to go and helping with the needs that you hope that it's supposed to go to. But if they buy the vouchers, $100 worth of vouchers for $80, they save money there. And then on top of that, they know that it's going to go towards something that the people actually need.
I think that's well stated.
Very good. That's fantastic. I'm looking forward to that too, and hopefully it'll be a good help to the churches and things like that. Tell me real quickly, just kind of for fun, in your coming up on 2 years now of working at Hope Outreach, what are some of the most interesting things that you've seen come through our store?
I did read that question, and so many things came to mind. Some of the old instruments that have come in are just precious. I've loved that. One experience of getting an old dresser in, and one of the drawers wouldn't come out, and an item of clothing was sticking that drawer from coming out. And once the drawer came out, found one coin, kind of looked at it a little bit, reached in, got some more, and found 8 coins around the 1812 range.
Wow.
They were Vatican coins out of the Vatican. And so that was really, really interesting. Another item was World War II Nazi passport, and some of the stamps in it and the documentation that were extremely interesting. And we still have that. We're still trying to market it out fairly. So,
Well, that's awesome, Doug. And again, I just want to thank you for the work that you do at Hope Outreach, and it means a lot. Also want to thank everybody at home who's listening and watching and who supports Hope Outreach Ministries by your donations, through your shopping, because as Doug had mentioned, it's the purpose of the thrift store. One of the main purposes is to fund the other ministries and to be able to keep us going, to be able to serve the people that we are trying to serve. And we really appreciate that. Doug, I appreciate you. Thank you very much for coming. Thank you all for watching, and we'll see you next month on Community Talk.
Stacy Leeton, a board member with the Enid SPCA, and for those of you that are not familiar with our organization, stands for the Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals. And I have here with me today Kathy Weil. She's a volunteer with the Enid SPCA. And Kathy, who do you have with you?
I have brought a rescue dog from the Enid SPCA. We rescued her over 10 years ago. A man brought her in. She was severely injured, and he could not afford to take her to the vet. So he left her with the SPCA, and I took her home, and we had Dr. Yawk, who is a fabulous vet here in town, do a little surgery on her to correct her problems. And then I took her home to foster her for a few days, and it's been 10 years, and I still have her.
Just fell in love with her. Well, she looks
Yes.
pretty comfortable
She's
there.
a wonderful little girl.
Wonderful. Well, we're here today to talk about our major fundraiser that we have every year is the 16th Annual Wine and Food Festival that's coming up, and just tell you a little bit more about the SPCA. So let's just first start off talking about the wine festival. Kathy, what is the day, time, and location of this year's event?
This year's event is on Saturday, November the 7th at the Chisholm Trail Expo Center, and the hours will be from 7 to 9:30, pouring from 7 to 9.
Wonderful. And if somebody's never been to the wine festival before, what would they expect?
Well, first of all, it's a lot of fun. It's just a great event, great evening. And now that we're at the Expo Center, we can move out a little bit and have more room for more vendors and more, just more fun, more tables for people to sit, and there aren't many lines for people that want to get food and just have a good time. So this is our 16th anniversary, as you said, and our theme is Compassion Grows Here. We have a wonderful board member who is an expert at decorating, and she's made some very cute decorations for our tables that are all animal related.
Right.
And it's just a huge cocktail party with food and wine vendors providing samples of their wares. And I made a list of a number of people who are going to join us. Costello's and Panavino, Angel Delight, Napoli's, Blaze's Barbecue, Buffalo Wild Wings, Jimmy John's, Subway Sandwiches, Applebee's, Chili's, and then we have pizza from Pizza Hut, Marco's, Little Caesars, and Papa Murphy comes and brings a Traeger grill and grills his pizzas on a Traeger grill, and they are to die for. Golden Chick will also be there, and then for dessert we have Awesome Cake Creations, Cakes by Diane, Queen of Cake, and then we can wash it all down with Starbucks coffee to end the day. And if you go home hungry, it's your own fault.
That sounds delicious.
I forgot. I forgot to mention that we have several Oklahoma wineries, plus we have beer and liquor vendors to provide tastes of their various libations. We also will have live music, as we did last year, and it was requested again this year, and those guys will perform this year.
Great. I'm so excited. Can't wait to go. Tell me a little bit about what the SPCA does for the community.
We are a nonprofit, first of all, so all of our funding comes from donations or from our various fundraisers, and this fundraiser is a big one that really helps us get through the year. Our mission is to end adoptable pet euthanasia in Enid due to overpopulation. Our shelter is no kill, and our goal is to provide a safe and caring environment for homeless animals, some are very hopeless also, while serving our community with spay and neuter assistance. So if you're considering a new member of your family, please come and adopt from us.
Great. And where is the SPCA located and what are the operating hours?
We're located at 1116 Overland Trail, and our hours are Tuesday through Friday from 11 to 5 and Saturday from 11 to 3.
Great. And I know that the SPCA has two major programs that are currently available to the public. One is called SNP and one is called Impact. Can you tell us a little bit about each of the programs?
Yes, I sure will. One is funded by PetSmart Charities. For this one-year grant, we are able to cover 1,000 dogs and cats in the 73701 area code. Zip code, I'm sorry. The surgery is free and it's same-day surgery and also covers a rabies shot if needed. The reason we focused on the 73701 zip code is that studies have shown through animal control that 70% of the animals they pick up are from the 73701 zip code.
Right.
So that's why we focused on this particular area. And this program will significantly reduce the number of animals being euthanized by animal control. We are a no-kill facility. This SNP program is, then there's a SNP program, and it is for those who make less than $40,000 a year. And it was originally funded by PetSmart Charities, but now we've continued to keep it going for the last 7 years. And we continue to help those who understand the importance of spay-neuter, but just need a little bit of help financially.
Right.
It's also same-day surgery. The cost is $40 for dogs and $30 for cats.
Right. And I know with the Impact, this is actually our third grant that we have received from PetSmart. And each year it focus on something a little different. Like you said, this year is the 73701 zip code. And then the SNP program, you know, we've tried to continue that with private funding and stuff like that. So, you know, you may not have a dog or cat at home that needs the services, but you may want to donate to provide that service for somebody else that could utilize it. So those are both wonderful programs that we have here in Enid. Now, if someone comes out to the shelter, are they able to buy or purchase items for their furry friends? And if so, what type of items could they purchase?
Yes, we have what we call Angie's Pet Plaza, which is in the main lobby, and it carries a variety of high-quality pet food and pet-related items such as Paul Mitchell grooming products, toys, leashes, collars, and we also have an engraving machine that will personalize tags for your animal. And we have a lot of really cute tags, bones, hearts, circles, OSU, OU tags. So you have a variety of choices.
Great. Now, I also believe that the Enid SPCA has grooming services that are the public can utilize as well. Can you tell us a little bit about the grooming services?
Yes, we have a wonderful groomer, Susan Rowley Thompson, who just will give your pet a royal beauty treatment, and she loves animals and does a great job. And you just call her at 402-7777.
If somebody is interested in getting involved with the SPCA, how does one become a volunteer or, you know, make a donation?
Well, we always love donations, but we also love our volunteers, and they are needed for dog walking, socializing animals, cleaning cages, and we have many off-site events like PetSmart Adoption, right, Home and Garden Show, and the Downtown Dog Fest. So we need volunteers to help transport the animals there, help take care of them while they're there, and then bring them back. We have a variety of things that volunteers can do, and all they have to do is call our office and talk to and get the particulars from one of our staff. We also take donated dog and cat food for our food bank.
Right.
Plus, we take blankets, old towels, and of course, monetary donations are wonderful.
Sure.
So,
and I think someone can go to the enidspca.org website.
Yes.
And I believe that we also have a list of items that, you know, someone may want to donate, and it could be anything from office supplies as well. So
laundry supplies, because
exactly,
our washer and dryers are going constantly.
Exactly. Because you know the Enid SPCA is solely funded by whether it's donations or fundraisers that we do, or you know just the adoption fee and the products that we sell and things like that. So. Let's talk a little bit about the most important aspect of the SPCA, and that is the pet adoption. How does one go about adopting a pet if they're interested?
Well, they come in and check out all of our merchandise, and we have some wonderful pets. And it's an $85 adoption fee, and you have to fill out an application. And with this $85, you get an animal that has been spayed or neutered, has had all of its medical checkups, and is in good health. And it's had its vaccinations and treatment for parasites. We also microchip all animals that are adopted through our facility. And once the animal is adopted, it is then the new owner's responsibility to take their animal to their vet for future care.
Right. And that's wonderful about the microchipping. I think that's something that we just started a couple of years maybe or so ago.
About 2 years ago, I think.
And so, when you adopt your pet, then it is now registered in your name and your address and phone number. So if it is lost, then we can, you could be found and traced back to you and stuff like that. So I think that's just wonderful. Now, if somebody has an animal that they need to place in the SPCA's care, how would they go about doing that?
You give us a call to our office, and if there's available space, we will try to take that animal in. If not, we recommend that, we can put you on a waiting list, and then we ask that you call back once a week to see how your animal has progressed on that list, because we also take animals from animal control, and we take a lot of animals from animal control.
Right.
So our space is limited.
Right.
So
being a no-kill facility, we can't take another animal in until a spot has opened up. So, that's the importance of, adopting out the animals so that we can have room for the next animal to come in.
We also suggest that people who are looking for homes for their animals put their animal on Facebook, as well as call Enid News and Eagle, because they will put an ad in for you for free, and they'll run it for 5 days.
Great.
So hopefully you can somehow find a new home for that animal.
Great. Now, tell me a little bit, if somebody is, going back to the Wine and Food Festival, if somebody is interested in attending, where does one purchase their special invitations?
You obtain your special invitation from the Cat Clinic or the SPCA, or from our website, enidspca.org, and that would be a $30 donation to our facility in order to get your invitation.
Great. And I understand also the Enid Welcome Center that's actually right next door to us has also volunteered to sell tickets as well. So that would be another location that you could purchase their tickets. Now, is someone able to obtain their ticket at the event, at the door?
No, there will be no special invitations given out at the door. So please try to think ahead and get them ahead of time.
Great. Again, Kathy, tell us the date, time, and location of this year's event.
November 7th, that's a Saturday, out at the Enid Expo Center on Purdue, and it's from 7 to 9:30 on Saturday night.
And what kind of attire would someone think about?
We like to get dressed up. I think it's kind of fun. It's a special affair, a special evening, so everybody likes to look nice and get dressed up. But if not, if you don't feel like getting dressed up, we'd love to have you anyway.
Just an elegant evening out on the town.
Absolutely.
Great.
It's a lot of fun.
Well, thank you very much. We'd like to thank all of you today who tuned in to learn more about the Enid SPCA and our 16th annual Wine and Food Festival, our major fundraiser that we have every year. We'd also like to thank Enid Television Network for allowing us to come on and tell you about our organization. So please come out and enjoy the fun, and we'll see you Saturday, November 7th. Thank you.